So today I just want to quickly talk about knot to your lure clip. I use the mini links. There's quite a few ones coming on the market now from BKK. Very good. I haven't used them yet. I've been using quite a few decoy ones, but by far I found these mini links to be the ones that I like. I bulk bought them a while back. I bought about 15 packets of them that I keep, that I don't have to keep on running around trying to find them on the internet and try to see if I can buy them. But I just want to quickly address something that I think it's important that especially the guys new to bass fishing and lure fishing in particular know about. Fluorocarbon, tying the knot to the lure clip. Fluorocarbon isn't very well known for its knot strength. It breaks under tension. Its knot strength isn't the greatest, so you have to be very careful how you tie your knots. You need to make sure that your knot's 100% sure, because it's not forgiving. It will let you down if you hook into big fish, or if you get stuck, or when you're not paying attention to what you're doing, you're hooking to fish and you exert a bit too much tension on a clip. It can pop if you don't tie it properly. A few knots that I've been using over the years have been obviously just the normal 3-turn figure of 8, and then that used to be the knot of choice for me for a very long time. And then obviously loop knots from fly fishing, your Rapala knot, your improved Rapala knot, and so on and so forth. But some fluorocarbons act differently or behave differently to different when tying, and to different hooks, different lure clips, and different swivels. So and I've lost a few fish quite a while ago, where you connect with the fish, go tight on it, and then cut, and you think, oh shit, what happened? The line must have nicked. It's not. It's actually the fluorocarbon that cut through the small little fine wire lure clip. So what I'm going to quickly just show you is, I'm going to maybe just show you a few knots, what knots to tie, what knots not to tie, and what knots to tie on the specific fluorocarbon that I'm using. And the fluorocarbon that I'm using is the Siglon Sunline 100% fluorocarbon that I'm using at the minute. I'll use trilene as well. Trilene does exactly the same thing, and you want to be tying the fisherman's knot, improved fisherman's knot, I'd say, tied straight to the clip. I found that's the only one that really works well enough to do the job. Now, what I would normally have done is I would have just gone through the clip there, and I'd have tied a 3-turn figure of 8 knot. 1, 2, 3. I would have lubricated it, put some spit on it there, pull it down, and you would be fishing. But that knot, it breaks for nothing, because the fluorocarbon cuts through the actual clip. You can tie another knot, you can tie Palomar. Palomar also cuts through, I'll find. And the knot that I found works, speaking to a mate of mine, just suggesting what knots to use. We've had a deeply discussion. He reckons, and I reckon, just a normal fisherman knot to tie. And it's all about consistency, practicing your knots at home and getting them right. Making sure that when you're on the water, that your knots hold up. And I found that if you don't tie it properly, it's going to break on you. So the one to use now would be your normal fisherman's knot, 3-turn, 1, 2, 3, through that loop there, and back through your original loop there, and just cinch it down, wetting it, and cinch it down like that. There you go. You can see that there. And then test it. That's fast, that's tight, not going anywhere. Your knot seating is also very important on fluorocarbon. You need to make sure that your knot is seated down properly, and you know, like and this tag end here as well, I would leave a small little tag in like that on it, You don't want to be cutting your tag end too short in case the knot slips, which it shouldn't really if you seated it down properly. And then another thing I wanted to speak about is there's a new guy that I'm busy, I wouldn't say helping or tutoring, I'm just fishing with him, and just seeing how people that don't fish on a regular basis go about things. I've picked up on a few things that I take for granted, or some of us take for granted, and that we don't share with other people because we just think it's like second nature, or it's just common knowledge to us. But when you take fluorocarbon off your spool and you put it on your leader, you'll see there's a bit of a twist in it. Okay, now that twist over there reflects light differently because it's in a coil. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it in the water. You can see that coil in the water. So what I generally do is I clip a lure on, and then very carefully with my hand, I'd run my hand straightening that line, straightening that fluorocarbon a bit. What that does is makes it a little bit more limp, first of all, and then second of all, if you put it into water, a coil will show up much easier in the water than a straight line would. I don't know if you can see that there, but that fluorocarbon almost disappears there on a neutral background. Obviously on black it's going to show up like a sore thumb, stick out like a sore thumb. But if you put on like a neutral background, and also in water, it's going to disappear. So always when you make sure that your fluorocarbon is nice and straight. You don't want to coil in the line, especially if you're fishing very, very slowly, and also very clear and clean water. You want to make sure that fluorocarbon is as straight as you can get it with no coil in it. Wet it and let it seat itself down under the pressure. Do not try to force it down by hand, because you'll weaken the knot like that. And that's how it comes out nice and neat. And you can pull it as hard as you want to, that's not going anywhere. And then I clip the tag in there. I don't like clipping the tag in too short. Give it a bit of a snoot, or a little tag in there, just to, insurance policy. And that's about it. Yeah, that's all I wanted to cover today with you guys. It's a very short little video, but I just thought we take that kind of knowledge for granted, and we should share it with others, especially newcomers, so that they don't end up losing big fish for stupid reasons, it's something that's very, very easily preventable.